Derrick Lewis versus Junior Dos Santos has been confirmed for March 9th, UFC on ESPN. Now, this is going to be my official prediction for this video. I will be live streaming it as well, so here we go. Let me say that this is not complete, full package, best Junior Dos Santos. Okay, this isn't Junior Dos Santos with hair. Alright? Big difference. Big difference. The one with hair versus the one with no hair is it's a pretty big difference. It signifies something. Signifies something in the USADA era of which is superior and which is inferior. I mean, you can't forget the years of just wars this man has been in. I mean, I think Kane alone took like at least a decade off of his life after the 2 beatings he gave him in the fights. Dude, just look at this. The guy took an insane amount of punishment in those fights and just was never his true self ever since then. He still had hair and was still in his peak, I would say, but you can't take a kind of beating like this and still, perform at your tip top, if you know what I'm saying. Brutal. I'll never forget the brutality of this fight. Since then, he's been in an absolute 5-round war with Stipe Miocic, which I thought, in retrospect, was actually a draw. But that seemed to be the very last time we saw JDS at his best, at his peak, I would say. And Stipe hadn't really, he hadn't really become the fighter he is currently. Since then, he has kind of gone on a spurt. He beat Mark Hunt and Tai Tasuva, I believe. But he has been knocked out since then by Overeem and Stipe. But this was no hair JDS. So that makes him more proven to get knocked out. The older you are, the less likely you are to absorb punches. Everyone knows that. This would seem to make Derrick Lewis have the ball in his court. He has very heavy hands. And he admittedly doesn't train for any opponents or come in with a specific game plan. He literally is just the kind of guy to swing for the fences and land whatever he can and knock you out, as seen with Ronda Rousey's wife and several others. Even the Volkov fight. What happened? He got his ass kicked for 5 straight rounds, only to come back and win it 11 seconds left. So he does have some resiliency. He can take damage. And he can't come back from monstrous ass kickings. And who could forget the hard-fought victory in the instant classic of him versus Ngannou? I mean, that fight was packed with action from start to finish. Just great action all around. The two just put on a war in there, no question about it. He is coming off of a very, very close loss to Daniel Cormier. Put up a great fight. Stood with him the whole time. Almost knocked him out a few times. Cormier did have a broken hand, though, which gave him an unfair advantage, and only 2 weeks to prepare. So Cormier definitely had the unfair advantage going into that fight, in my opinion. So I think Lewis has a chance to knock out JDS. He's going to have 5 rounds to do it, so, why not? Plus,